Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Designing DeFi. I'm Andrei Ponivesk, and I'll be taking you through another review today of a DeFi protocol. And I'll hope to cover a few do's and don'ts and a few of the things that you should be doing or not as a designer. So hopefully you're gonna be entertained and you're gonna get a few nice outcomes out of this. So today we're gonna be reviewing B.Protocol, and this is their landing page. We're going to be going a bit through it and see what we understand and what we don't understand. So the first thing they say is democratizing liquidations, and then says B.Protocol is building a backstop DeFi primitive, unlocking higher capital efficiency by democratizing liquidations systems. We shift MEV and bot profits to the community. While I kind of understand this, I would say it's a pretty difficult statement to understand from the beginning. It's not easily digestible for someone who doesn't know a lot about DeFi. And also what's happening here kind of reinforces this a bit, but still don't understand a lot about it. So one thing here, if you want to go on the landing page and if you want to say different things about your protocol, I definitely suggest going to the value proposition. Like, what am I going to get from using this protocol? What are the benefits that I'm going to get? It's much more efficient to address this from the user perspective than saying like, okay, this is the technology that we have and this is what we can do and this is why we are innovative. I definitely think it's much more better to go to the value proposition, because I truly believe that in the future, all this technology will go into the backside and everything on the front will be what is the value to the user, which is the same thing that happened to the internet if you think about it. Now, no one is talking about things like, what JavaScript functions you're using on your website or stuff like that. No one cares about that. Everyone cares what is the value I'm going to get by using the different tools. So in the end, I think we're going to shift towards that. And if you want to design for what's about to come, I suggest you focus on the value proposition. And all this stuff is very good to have, but I would definitely have this in a different part where you would probably need the pen and paper to just go through all of this, because no way I'm going to try to figure out what's happening here, or that, yeah, I'm not gonna go through that. So yeah, that's what I'm suggesting here. So let's go to their dashboard node. I think we're gonna go. This is their analytics dashboard. I would go inside the app right now, so we would see how the app looks. It's more like a dashboard with a column on the left side, and you can go through different tabs here. So let's go through the liquidity tab, and here we have automated rebalancing for liquidity stability pool powered by B.Protocol. Gives you a few of the things that you can do here, and then gives you a connect button. You can connect with MetaMask, and then you get all this information about being able to deposit or start staking, but not a lot of other information. So if you're a designer or if you're not, you could easily see from this that the hierarchy of information could be better, could be improved in terms of we have different components. For example, this one is you have no LUSD in the stability pool. What does that mean? This is more like an indicator of some sort, or an error message. This is definitely not the right placement for an error message. You want to have that in your own component, probably below this or in a different place. I can show you maybe a small example right here. This is a protocol we've designed before. It's called DFX. And when you're designing, you usually have a style guide. And inside the style guide, you have different ways to show error messages. So the way we show error messages inside components such as inputs is this way. So it kind of blends in with the component itself. So if I go here, you would see the error message is way on top here. It doesn't differentiate itself from anything in this component, and it creates an imbalance in the harmony of the visual cue for the person who's looking at it. Also, this is some sort of indicator as well, just thrown in here. I'm not sure if they built this themselves or maybe they took this UI from someone else, but this can definitely be improved in terms of hierarchy of information used. Let's go here. This is something they have on Arbitrum. You can see here another example. Maybe if I connect this. Oh, another thing here. Now, there's a different modal here for selecting a wallet than it is here. So if I'm connecting this, I have like two different modals. Definitely not advising you to do that. And then you can see here another error message appearing. Mainnet is not supported. I would not advise to go for this type of error message. First of all, it's very, very small. And second of all, has no interactive component to it as like interaction, so you can recognize it. Another good example of how you can use that is inside a snack bar. So a snack bar is a component that appears from the right to the left, and it tells you what you should be doing. So a component like that could be like, if your transaction incomplete, there was a problem with your transaction, or maybe you need to change the network, which is not an example that we have here, but it's definitely something you can look out for. So yeah, let me just connect to MetaMask. Oh, I have to change to Arbitrum 1, I think. There we go. I would have preferred to change it by myself. I mean, I don't prefer that, but like it would be nice if they had the option to change it through MetaMask without needing to change it manually. So this goes to an option that you can deposit, withdraw, and you can manage everything that's happening here. This is a change in layout, and I don't advise, if you're designing something, don't do a change in layout like this, especially going to a darker background. I definitely would not advise this. So yeah, I've just not advised this. I don't know if they took this UI from somewhere else or they did it themselves. All right, let's go to Maker. So again, we're gonna try to connect our MetaMask. Again, we have to change it to mainnet. All right. So it gives me the total value locked, the borrow limit here. I don't have anything against this. I think it's pretty good. You know, you have it here. And then you have different options here, which they've decided to add them all behind tabs, which I think they could have also added them in a list and then use these as labels next to each list item without, you could just see everything without necessarily needing to go through these tabs. Could have been a better solution to that. One of the things that I don't agree here is you can see if you click on deposit or withdraw, what happens is that this component expands and then you see more information and also you have an action button. Why I'm against this is because obviously when you want to go in doing an action, you want to be focused on that specific action and you don't want to have all the other actions here, tabs and whatever is happening here, distract you from the action that you want to do. So for this reason, a lot of other protocols, they use modals. They do not use this kind of interaction component because it is distracting. And even if you go to Compound, which I have it here very briefly, if you click on anything that they have, they automatically put you in a modal. They do not expand it because it is distracting to the user. And I've seen a lot of protocols use this. I've seen them expand them, but I would avoid this at any cost, and I would use a model over here. We have the example of the input here. How much ETH would you like to deposit? So just clicking here and inputting any amount would allow me to see my borrow limit. It gives me my current wallet balance, liquidation price, and everything here. You can see another example of an error statement here, amount excess wallet balance. I would use, like in the example I gave you previously, it would be better off to use something like this because it blends nicely with the component rather than having something like this. So watch out for that and watch out for different components that you have. Definitely typeface is too small here, and I would use things like one below each other because it's a better representation for when you're gonna go through it and you're gonna read it. I would not read something from left to right like this. I would more go for something, again, I'm showing you an example from here, from DFX. So you have estimated pool allocation, and then look, you have the label on the left, and then you have the amount or the value on the right side. And it's a better representation uh, in this situation because it's easier to digest and easier to read. All right, so these are my thoughts here, and I think we might have like just one or two more. This is compound, and you're able to deposit, reborrow, borrow, repay, and I think what they're doing right here, and I cannot connect because it's not allowing me to connect my wallet here. I've tried it before. Again, I'm assuming that if you click here, it will just expand. I'm not sure, but I would not expand it. I would use a model in this case. So yeah, I think what they did is like they took this from Compound because it's kind of the same as they have here in terms of layout. But yeah, I would stick to what they're doing in terms of the interactions. I don't have anything else to say here. I think this is kind of pretty straightforward, but just be mindful of the way you're using layout because it's very important. Then we have liquidity, and this is something similar to what we have here. Definitely needs a bit more explanation, but I like what they did here with a few of the things like props for the tooltips. Very, very important. So this is my review of B.Protocol from the perspective of design, from the perspective of UX and UI, and hopefully I gave you a quite good explanation and you learned a bit throughout of this. If you're really interested about what we're doing, you can head on to our website, ultimstudio.com, and you can see a few of the projects that we've done, a few of the case studies, and hopefully you can learn a bit from that as well. And if you're looking to redesign or design your protocol, you can give us a shout out. We'll be more than happy to help you. All right. Have a great day.